This is the Above Average Podcast, and you are listening because you want an above average life. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Above Average Podcast, the podcast where we talk to above average people about their above average lives. Now, my guest today is hard to sum up in one paragraph alone, due to his insane repertoire of skills.
I'm interested. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best, man. I'm going to do my best. He's a model, a ballroom dancer, a ballroom and Latin American dancer, a former British champion, no less. He's also won Mr. Gay twice, as well as Mr. Gay World, which he now runs as well, I believe, as well as a Pride Radio DJ presenter for the last 10 years.
It is, yes.
And if that wasn't impressive enough, he's also a farmer. So please welcome Mr. Stuart Hatton Jr. to the show. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Farmer is the most important one. All my babies.
Well, we've just had a conversation about your chickens as well. So I'm going to ask you first, so can you name all those chickens that you had before?
Oh my goodness, I've had so many chickens over the years. But okay, let's do this. Okay, so we've got Dorothy, Blanche, Sophia, and Rose, which are the Golden Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Mutia, Keisha, and Siobhan from the Sugar Babes. Mel B. I've got Betty, good old Betty. Betty's been around for ages, actually. Betty's like the hardcore one. She's the OG. She's like the Pat Butcher of the hen nest.
Yeah, Betty sounds like someone that is too stubborn to go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Betty ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I've got my ducks as well. So I've got Amelia Gabble and Abigail Gabble. I did have Uncle Waldo, who was a girl, but he passed.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah. Cool. I'm guessing you like sort of your girl bands as well. I'm assuming.
What gave it away?
I'm sure we'll get into your hobbies as well later on. So listen, mate. There's an absolute ton to go over, but I want to start with your dancing. So when did you first start to move your feet? When did you get into that?
I can't remember it. I come from a ballroom dancing family.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of like a ballroom dancing mafia. Mm-hmm. So my mum is a ballroom dancing teacher. My grandparents were ballroom dancers, and dancers before that. So the moment I could start to move, I went to dance class. There's a brilliant picture somewhere of me in one of my mum's dance classes being potty trained in the middle of the floor with dancers going around the outside of me. I was one of the youngest people to take a dance exam at 18 months old, and I was in the Shields Gazette for that as well.
Nice.
Me little trophies. So I can't remember. So it's just something that's always been. I've always been able to do it. So most people can remember their first dance class, the first time they went to the gym, their first experiences. To me, it's just in my blood. It's something I've always known.
Yeah.
And I love it. It releases all the happy hormones and it makes you feel good. It keeps you fit. It keeps you healthy. And it's a great social skill to have to ballroom dance. I love it. I really love it.
I think there's something really attractive about people who can move, whether you're a man or a woman. The way you move, it's like, it's such an attractive thing as well. Has that helped you in life? Have people sort of like, when you start to move, people go, ooh?
It's no, I don't know. I mean,
you've never dirty danced your way into.
Listen, well, I have dirty danced before, but that's a different story.
Can you do the lift?
I can do the lift.
Can you?
We should practice after this.
We should do that. Yeah, downstairs in the gym. We'll do it.
We'll go to the marine park. We'll go full on realness in the pond, and I'll lift you up, and the boats can go around with.
Yeah, like amazing. I'm down for this too. Let's do it, man.
But if I've had a drink, people do go ooh, but for the wrong reasons, because my dancing skills devolve. You get alcohol in this engine, you get fuel in this engine. It's like, oh, he's a dancer.
That's weird though, because normally it's the other way around. When I dance, I'm like, I can move, man.
You're like, yay! And I'm like, break down, shut down. And it sounds like the old Windows tune, where it goes boom, boom, boom. And it just shuts down. That is my life with alcohol and dance.
Yeah, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
So obviously you started that quite young. So why keep going? What is it that speaks to dance about?
I didn't always want to keep going. There was times in school, especially in the 90s, being closeted, red-headed, spectacled, geek, ballroom dancer in the middle of 1996. That was not attractive. That was not cool. There was times that you wanted to stop. But I kept going because I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was who I am. And you don't give up on something that you thoroughly enjoy. And I didn't actually want to pursue it as a career either. I went into university to study language and linguistics to be a speech therapist, to help people with stammer, stutters, if they'd been in car accidents. And I qualified as a dance teacher quite young, and I started off a few classes to keep me going throughout university, to pay the bills, to keep the finances. And by the time I'd finished my university run, my classes became so popular, I had a dance school and a business ready to just fall into.
Yeah.
So I've got my safety net for my linguistics degree to one side.
Nice.
But my passion was with dance. My business was built up. I went straight into it, and I've been doing that now for over 20 plus years.
We'll not say your age, mate. We'll keep that private. Yeah. Even though I think I'm pretty sure it's on your Wikipedia page, we'll keep it private. It's fine.
I'm only 12.
Wikipedia lies. It's made by the public. It's fine. It's full of lies. So what age did you enter the championships then?
Oh, I remember starting I think I do remember starting championships. I was 10. And by the time I was 12, I was in the under 12 British finals. But by the time I was 16 in the older category, I'd won the British Championships. I was the captain of the England squad at 15, which was kind of cool as well. I've always had a competitive nature in me to be not better than anyone else, but to be better than who I was before, because that's how you grow and you learn. You are better than who you were the next day. And competitive dancing really instills that in you in life, not to be arrogant and be better than the person over there, but always grow and be better than who you were.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think too many people get into comparisonitis, and whatever they do, whatever they decide to do, it's always about, well, how can I be better than them? Or it's, well, I'll never be better than them, so what's the point?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like, you just got to be better than you. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Who were you yesterday? Copy and paste it, add on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're only ever in competition with yourself.
Completely.
Yeah. But you are a self-described perfectionist.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
So
yes.
I'm very much of the belief that perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. But for you, you're almost an exception to the rule, because you've made it really work for you, your life, and your opportunities. So can you walk me through your sort of mindset towards that perfectionism?
That doesn't work for everybody. And let me tell you, if you're a perfectionist, you have a lot of anxiety and you have a lot of stress that you put on yourself. It's all self-made. It's all self-stress. It's all self-anxiety.
Yes.
But it's to be better than who you were. Again, it could come back from the condition of being a competitive dancer to be better than who you were yesterday. But to me, I'm all about progress. And I'm all about getting yourself there. But to me, I want a journey's end, a journey's end, a journey's end, a tick box, a tick box. So I suppose perfection is a to-do list and a tick off to-do list every day. It has to be better than who I was. It has to be better than who I'm going to be tomorrow. So I set myself a next goal and the next goal and the next goal. And it's worked all right for me. Listen, it's worked all right for me. It doesn't work for everybody.
No.
But that's only the pressures that I put on myself.
Yeah, how do you handle that pressure on yourself? Because coming from this space, I have a lot of pressure on me. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and people always go, "Well, you don't need to do all that. You can just relax. You know, you've done enough." I'm like, no, it's not enough. So, how do you personally handle that pressure?
I've got life goals, and I want to take them off. I know we spoke about age, but I'm 40 next year, and by the time I get to 40, I know that I've done some proper immense life goals. So, I have been a British champion in dance. I've been a Mr. Gay GB winner. I've been a Mr. Gay world winner. I have basically ran the Mr. Gay year of competition since 2016, and now I am event organizer for Mr. Gay World. I've got my own successful ballroom dancing business. I'm a radio DJ, and I'm a farmer, and in September I fall in. Well, I'm going to become the president of the NCDTA, which is the Northern Counties Dance Teachers Association, to be the youngest president on the 100th year of that organisation. That's a lot of life goals.
Yeah.
So I figured that after I'm 40, then I'm going to take my foot off the pedal, and then I'm going to relax. But I want to do what I want to do while I've got the energy, while I've got the skill, the passion, and the drive to do it. I don't want to get to a point in life where maybe my body can't handle certain things anymore, and I regret not doing those things. While I'm capable and while I'm able-bodied, I'm going to strive to do that, and then I'm going to take the foot off the pedal later on.
Well, people think that they've got time. Those, I've got time to do this. But time, I'm 28. Forgot my age momentarily. I'm 28 now. And I'm like, I was 24 like a month ago, I swear. And I'm like, I feel like I'm running out of time. And you know, Luke that I hang out with all the time, he's 38. And he's like, bro, when you get 30, it's like, I blink and I'm like nearly dead. You know? And it's like, it's crazy. But people go around acting like they've got so much time. You don't.
No.
You really don't. It's
no, you don't. I think time is not guaranteed.
Yeah, well, the average human, let me ask you this. How many days do you think the average human lives?
Oh, I don't know, but I bet you're going to tell me. I'm going to say, come on, let's do this, Stuart. I got to see.
You don't have to do. You don't have to do GMaths.
Watch this. I'm going to square root it by the square root of pi, and I'm going to divide it by the radius. And remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
I ain't got a clue, bro. I failed maths.
2,000 No, not 2,000.
2,000 days. Fuck, that's not much.
That's a really short life, isn't
That's
it?
that's a very short life, bro.
17,000.
28,000.
Oh, I was so
28,000.
not
But
when
you ask many people that, and they're like, oh, like 1 million, like 100,000, 28,000.
Wow,
That's not a lot.
that's not a lot of days.
That's not a lot
at
of
all.
days.
No,
It's crazy. And I think people, when you tell people that, there's this realization, like, how many of those have I actually gone through? Like, how many thousands?
That's
have
exactly
I've
what I'm
wasted?
doing in my brain right
Yeah,
now.
man, how many fucking thousands have I gone through? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
So while I've got the energy to live half of those 1,000 years, I'm going to do it now. Mm-hmm. While I've got the skills, the drive, the want, I'm going to do it now. I don't want to live the second half of my life in regret. Oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that. I like to live the second half of my life a bit more chilled.
Yeah, nice, man. No, I appreciate it. But you've done the work first, which is the better part. Yeah,
and it's hard work. People only see the tip of the iceberg. People only see the successes. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's really good at that. He's done that. But the amount of failures that come underneath that, the amount of times that no, that was wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't wrong. It was a learning experience.
Yes.
You learn from it. That what didn't work. Okay, let's reassess that and do the opposite. And that's, I think, what helps you succeed.
Yeah. No,
knowing your failures, acknowledging your failures, what doesn't work, and trying it the other way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 100% agreed. So, for those who may have not picked up on it yet, what we talked about, Stuart is in fact gay. And on the show,
me dear, gay dear,
I have no idea.
How very dare you.
So, and on the show, I'm always interested in people's struggles and what they've been through in life. So I'm just curious. Did you struggle when you first came out? Because obviously you said,
my God, yes.
Yeah. So tell me about that time of your life, and how old were you when you sort of realized?
When did you realize you were straight?
I don't know. I've been questioning it since you came in this room, mate.
Oh, you. Oh, look, your little boobs are bouncing up and down now. I mean, it's a thing. It's like when people always say, when do you realize you were gay? I didn't. It's who I am.
Yeah.
When did you realize, that you had anything other than the eye color you've got? Being gay is as part of me as my green eyes.
Yes.
It's just who I am. But I realized it was, from a young age, wrong. Because I was brought up under Margaret Thatcher's Section 28. And Margaret Thatcher put out into her government that children should not be given the right to believe that it's okay to be gay. In fact, I think her phrase was, children are being taught that they have the inalienable right to be gay. So I was brought up under Section 28. So if I even wanted to talk about my feelings of being different, of being gay to a teacher, it was against the law.
That's crazy to think.
Could not help me. Mm-hmm. It was against the law. When I was in school, Stephen Gately from Boyzone, you're too young, you wouldn't remember. But Stephen Gately from Boyzone came out as gay. He was vilified all over the papers as a paedophile, as a pervert. To come out as gay in the 90s was wrong. It was evil. You shouldn't have done that. That was my conditioning. So I came out very, very, very late. For what it is now, I was 21, and it took a lot of courage to do so. I do like to flip that now that I'm older and I've got a lot of life in. And when I have it in me, when I have a lot of people that express their feelings, I thank them for telling me if they're doing their coming out story. But it's not necessarily coming out. I say it's letting someone in. You're letting someone into their authentic self. Thank you for letting me into your life.
Yeah.
Rather than you feeling you've got to come out. And hopefully we'll get into a world sometime where you don't even have to do that. You don't have to come out. But I would not walk down the street, even nowadays, holding my partner's hand or wanting to hold my partner's hand in case I got a brick pushed into the back of my head.
Even now?
Oh, God, even now. Yeah. You might be cool with it, but it doesn't mean that
everybody
someone
else
over there
is
going to be all right with it. It just takes someone to have a bad day, think that I'm disgusting, punch me in the back of the head.
Well, we are in South Shields, so
Shields isn't bad. Shields is getting better. Shields has just had its very first Pride. It's a Pride month right now in Shields called Pride in South Tyneside, where we've got our own little community groups. But even now, around the world, there's countries where it's illegal to be gay. Yeah. You can be hung for being gay. You can be killed. You can have life imprisonment for being gay. That's not cool. That's not cool. And that's the conditioning that we've got. So I now, I'm a proud man, a proud gay man. And people say, well, why have you got to bang on about it? I'm not banging on about it. I'm just talking about my life the same way you would talk about your wife or your girlfriend. and all I'm doing is trying to be as equal as you are. In the UK, in the last 3 years since COVID, we dropped the blood ban on gay men donating blood. So it's only in the last 3 years that gay people have been allowed to donate blood. It was against the law in the UK to do that.
Yeah.
Iceland was the first country to drop that ban. But there's still a lot of stigma about it. There's still a lot of stigma. And that comes from the top. That comes from the government. That comes from social conditioning. But the moment we learn to bypass that and instill more acceptance in our children, hopefully the next generation will grow up where homophobia is archaic as racism.
Mm-hmm. Here's a theory for you, just to play devil's advocate. Do you think there's ever going to be a time in human history going forward that there's never fights over people's differences? There's never discriminations? Do you think we're all going to ever live in happy world?
Well, I'm going to throw something at you here.
Okay.
I'm going to say Star Trek, right? Star Trek. I know
Okay.
you love Star Wars, right?
Right.
But Star Trek goes by the phrase infinite diversity and infinite combinations. And Star Trek teaches a future where everyone accepts each other, regardless of what alien race they are, regardless of what gender they are. Everybody gets on.
Yeah.
I would like to think that is a possibility. But I think our human race is wonderful and marvelous. We can put people on the moon. We can create the most beautiful food dishes. We can give the most love to each other possible. But we can also be pretty darn nasty.
We're all hairless murder apes.
We are.
We're all still animals.
We are. And the moment you get those nasty people in positions of power, people start to listen to them. People start to believe, look what's going on right now in America with Trump. Look at what's going on in the UK with our trans rights. We've got terrible trans rights in the United Kingdom. There's terrible trans rights in the USA as well. In the USA at the moment, half their population have been told that they don't have right to autonomy of their body. Women are told they can't have abortions.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of the procedure, a woman's right over her own body is being debated. A woman's right over her own body is being debated.
When you repeat it, it's
her
like, that sounds crazy.
human rights are being debated.
Yeah.
That's mental. Absolutely mental. So the moment you have someone in a position of power whose point of view or belief, and it is just their belief, then becomes law, as a human species, I don't think we'll ever get to a point where we're all equal right now in our lifetime. And I think your question. I'd love to believe it, but I don't think we will.
I think we're in a better time than we have been, for sure. Like, I think there's a great book on, I think it's like The Murderer Next Door or something like that, when it was by Dr. David Buss, and he was talking about, just as an example, he was saying about like the rates of murder in the world and da-da-da. And people were asking him, why is there so much murder in the world? And he replied, actually, you should be asking the question, why isn't there more? We're actually in the safest place.
Yeah.
And I think people need to sort of remember that. But we do have a long way to go, obviously. But I think we're also in a world now where everyone's driven heavily by emotions. We are told as a society that we should be more open with our emotions and, more accepting of them, which is good. But we're not told how, which leads to all these, horrible events, especially in America at the minute. I think very emotionally charged. All these school shootings, assassinations. Yep. I mean, was Reagan the last one that was an attempted assassination?
It was, and then Donald Trump just recently.
Yeah, which is crazy that we're still having assassinations.
I'm sure they have the right to bear arms in America on their constitution, but wasn't their constitution written quite a few hundred years ago where the right to bear arms was taking you 5 minutes to load a gun where you would shoot a looter away from your land because they were off to get your buffalo. Yeah. And now the machine has completely changed. It can fire bullets rapidly in succession, lots of bullets per second.
Yeah.
That is their right
Governments don't take laws away.
If the machine has changed, surely the constitution should change. We don't use the same Windows 95 program that we do with our current computers. It has to be updated.
Yeah.
And I think if we look at that, or if America looks at that, they might be in a safer place.
I think we are probably going to head in some sort of similar way. I think we are very Americanized at the minute. We're heading towards the extreme.
I mean, I've got a lot of American friends, and I love them.
Yeah,
but
I love America.
They're like-minded human beings.
Some parts are scary. The parts that we see on TikTok and stuff are scary and stuff. Yeah. But I think, I think people need to realize that we're all just being led by emotions too much at the minute. We need to apply a little bit more logic. Just fucking common sense.
So basically,
for the most
become
part.
a Vulcan from Star Trek, like Mr. Spock.
Yes,
I'm going to get a Star Trek reference in.
I'm glad you said Spock because I don't know what the fuck
It's the only Vulcan anyone knows.
Yeah, because for anyone that isn't understanding the reference to this, I interviewed Stuart's brother James. I think it was literally a year ago, that I did James. So, and we had the discussion about Star Wars and Star Trek. And me and James are both Star Wars fans, and you're a Trekkie. Has that caused rifts in the family, like at Christmas and stuff? Like, do you get into fights? Are you trying to shoot him with a ray gun? And he's like, you know what I mean?
He's coming at me with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
It has. I mean, listen, I'm respectful of your Star Wars life,
but you're wrong.
I'm respectful of your opinion. However, you're wrong. No, Star Wars is cool. Star Wars is cool. It's all zoom, 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 and pretty. It's pretty.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to jump in my Star Trek argument here. Star Trek has thought-provoking stories. If you like Black Mirror, if you like anything like that, it really plays with your mind. It's got, again, lots of different civilizations that have got to learn to get along together. Civilizations that might be based on, like, for example, say Buddhist monks like the Vulcans, or you might have civilizations based on industrial China like the Romulans, or you might have how can we be barbaric Vikings like the Klingons, but it's like, how do we get all these civilizations to work together to come to solutions? And that's what I love about that. How do we find the solution? That's what I like about Star Trek.
Well, what I love, my first sort of like TV introduction to sort of anything, gay in the slightest was Doctor Who. Captain Jack Harkness.
So queer coded.
So my question to you is just as a...
Did you watch the new Doctor Who with Ncuti Gatwa?
I watched the Christmas and then the first one.
Oh, there's a brilliant little gay episode with the Doctor and another fella.
Yeah, the Bridgerton.
It's a Bridgerton one. And I was watching it and I thought, Amy, I was going to swear. Let's go. Amy,
you can swear on this podcast,
fine. Say, Amy Fanny's beaten. I was like, oh my God, if this is what the ladies think when they watch Bridgerton, I was like, woo! It was very good. I was totally down for it.
Yeah. But one thing that I'm curious about, because back then in I think it was like 2005 when Captain Jack Harkness was on Doctor Who. Sorry for anyone who's listening to this bit who doesn't understand Doctor Who.
We're now completely podcast. This is completely all about
Yes, we've just flipped it now.
Flip reverse this.
So Captain Jack Harkness was obviously, he was this bisexual guy who just anything with a pulse and he was on it, whether it was alien, dog, human, whatever, he was on it, right?
Yanto from Wales.
Yeah, he was, Torchwood, love it, nice. And that was sort of my introduction, but it wasn't made as big a deal back then. It was just, he is what he is.
Rightly so. But
do you think now, because I've heard a lot about the new Doctor Who series, and a lot of people are really harping on the fact that it's like a gay show, a queer show.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's pushed it too in people's faces, or do you think it's necessary right now?
It depends, because, I mean, no one harked on about Doctor Who when it was a straight show. It was, so from my perspective, I could always go, well, Doctor Who always had a female companion. He was always into Rose. You were shoving that down my face.
When you think about it, it's just an old man taking young girls off in a box and everything.
Exactly. It's like, let's question about this. There's an old fella taking a young lady into a phone box.
Yeah. Granted, the very first season, it was his granddaughter, so it's cool.
No, it depends from your point of view. I just think it's made it more accessible. It's still the Doctor. He's still having all these adventures, and I suppose a little B-C side plot is he might just happen to like other people than women.
Yeah.
He's not heteronormative. He's an alien with two hearts. That's thousands of years old, and you're questioning who he's kissing? What?
Yeah, it's when you think... I think what they did was, the drastic change between... Because everyone remembers Tennant. Everyone remembers his thing with Rose, and I think everyone still remembers that.
Yeah.
And then now they look at now and they think it's completely flipped. But there was always talk of like he like had husbands or whatever. There's always like little references in there. So.
He's been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, dude's been around the block, man.
At one point, he kissed a lizard and no one complained. The moment he kisses a boy, scandal.
Yeah, but let's get back to you anyway. That's what I talk to you. So I'm just curious: has being the way you are ever affected any opportunities that you've went for? Have you ever faced that sort of discrimination for?
I haven't faced discrimination in regards to opportunities, but I won't name these people on the podcast.
That's
but
fine.
I've been teaching children for well over 2 decades now, and in the first tenure of my teaching experience, I have had parents remove their children from the class because I'm gay, and it was a case of, we're not having someone like you teach our kids.
Was that something that they've actually said?
Yes.
Wow.
The first time I didn't know how to deal with, and I was like, all right, okay. And it knocks you for 6. It really does knock you like, wow. Well, that was strange, And then the more ballsy I got over it, and it had happened, I think it was the 3rd time it happened, I went, excuse me, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You take your children where you want to take your children and how you want to spend your money teaching your children. You're not going to get a better teacher than me. I may also suggest that you pick up an Oxford English Dictionary and look up the difference between homosexual and paedophile, because they're two completely different things. And I think you need to have a word with yourself. So that has happened before.
Yeah.
I've taught hundreds of children over the years, and it's only happened 3 times.
Yeah.
Most people are completely accepting. Children nowadays are open and they will chat about certain things. Oh, a lad in my school's got a boyfriend. Oh, that's brilliant. That's cool. Or I've had children come out to me before because I am their confidant to do so. I'm not parent. I'm not school teacher, kind of dance teacher. So you're the cool one, and the one that you spend on your free time. That's not in school and not at home. And you build up a reputation, a relationship with the kids over the years that they feel they can confide in you. So that's always good. But we always do say, come on, we'll go and chat to mum and dad if it feels comfortable.
Yeah. I actually don't think I would want a dance teacher who wasn't queer. I think, I don't know. It just seems like you'd be a better
all
teacher.
My dance teachers to be on
No,
the
not in that way,
spectrum.
but I just feel like you'd be better, because I just feel like you guys, the movement is just more free, more flowy. It
comes with the membership pack. The moment you come out, you get that's the movement card. Thank you.
But I just find it better. I just think it's just like the way, I've seen you dance. It's incredible. You've got such good movement and stuff. But I think my version of straight dudes dancing is like birthday parties when they're all smashed and they're all just like, you know what I mean? Like dad dancing, that's my view. Whereas,
I think sometimes as well, I think with gay people, because especially gay people who are out, you've gone through so much to get there that you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck. So you're going to dance how you want to dance. You're going to speak how you want to speak. You're going to wear nail varnish if you want to nail varnish, because you are living in your own little stream.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you are heteronormative, you feel kind of, from the conversations I've had, kind of trapped into that box. I've got to do that. A straight man might not want to paint their nails. A straight man might not want to have a boogie and relax a little bit because someone might think that they're less than a man, which is quite sad, really.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was 18, 19 maybe, and I just discovered clubbing and stuff, and I was out, and it was me and a few friends from school. No, you were too young by then, but it was we were all out, and as you do, you start mingling groups and stuff, and there's always there was the girls there and whatnot, and we're all dancing and stuff, and I thought it was going really well with this one. I thought it was great, and I was really dancing. I was proper going for it.
Yeah.
She thought I was gay because of the way I was dancing. I was really out there and I was going for it, and I was like, oh damn. So then I spent the next 2 years or something of my life just. So never that was it. But now I'm I don't care. So.
You need to be like one of those birds of paradise, that puts its feathers out and puts its wings out to attract a mate. You'd be like, yes, come and get me, girls.
That's peacocking,
yes. Yeah. Look at the size of my feather.
I think I kicked out the club for that one, mate. But so tell me about Mr. Gay. How did you get into that?
Okay.
It was 20 because you won it in 2013 and 14, so two years in a row. So tell me what it is for someone that doesn't know what that is.
Okay, well, in 2013, I won a competition called Mr. Gay UK, and okay, here's the truth.
Is this an exclusive that we're about to get?
Yeah. On that year, there was £1,000 prize money. I'd had a leaky bathroom roof that was going to come to 900 quid.
Yeah.
Luckily, the leak was dripping into the bath, so it was quite a conscientious leak. But nevertheless, it was still a leak.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll enter that. And it was a beauty contest where you stood in your swimwear in a nightclub in Leeds, and I won it. At the time, I was like, marvellous, brilliant. I've got this £1,000. It'll fix me leaky bathroom roof. Then I got contacted by the Mr. Gay Europe company. Said, you've won Mr. Gay UK. You are now eligible to represent the United Kingdom at Mr. Gay Europe. I thought, I'll give this a go. So I went after Europe, and the assessments are completely different. So in Mr. Gay Europe, you have a written exam, you've got a spoken test, you have got to do a law exam because you've got to understand about the different laws and equalities throughout Europe. There's a sports challenge as well. There's a personal interview, and you've also got to be able to speak to the media. So it's like, this is a little bit more different than standing in a nightclub. And I got first runner-up at Europe. I thought, no, that's cool. 3 months later, I was invited to represent the United Kingdom in Europe at Mr. Gay World. And I thought, well, you got first runner-up at Europe, just chill, just relax, just go with the flow. And I wanted to know whether some of my friends were going that I'd met in Europe, Northern Ireland, Denmark, Sweden, and they were all going. I thought, oh, brilliant, we'll just have a lads' holiday. So just go and have a lads' holiday.
Yeah.
So there was 36 different countries at Worlds, from Australia to New Zealand, Canada, USA, India, as well as all the European guys. And as the week went on, we were getting through these assessments. Well, this is quite doing all right here. Got to the final, and it was the top 10, UK in the top 10. I thought, oh, well, chuffed, top 5. UK in the top 5. Oh, it's all right. Then top 3, UK. Oh, then it was the top 2, UK and Malta. And I was like, oh my God. I only came for a lad's holiday. And then I won. And I was like, oh man, I've got a sash and a crown now. What's going to happen? It was absolutely mental. But from that, what I did is I set up the So What campaign, which we went into schools, and we tell children, some people got blue eyes, some people got green eyes, some people are straight, some people are gay. So what? We got the kids to paint their hands rainbows. We put the hands onto white pieces of paper, cut around those paper, and we turned the hands into leaves on a tree. And if anyone felt a little bit unsafe or they wanted to talk about something, they grabbed someone who they trusted, went to the tree, sat under the So What tree, and had conversations about how they felt. So that was that. From then I went on to become the managing director of Mr. Gay Europe 2 years later, because they saw what I did with the world title of putting a project in place as a winner. And then from there, I rebranded Mr. Gay UK into Mr. Gay Great Britain. And I've made all the Mr. Gay Great Britons now go through a similar process that I went through to prepare them for what comes next, and also to give back to the community. So the processes now for Mr. Gay Great Britain are, there's a charity fundraiser. So all the finalists have got to raise funds for charity. Our 2 chosen charities this year are Pride Action North and the Charlie and Carter Foundation. So the Charlie and Carter Foundation now has gone quite global, which is fab. And Charlie and Carter Foundation is a South Tyneside based charity that help raise funds for children who are terminally ill. So that's one of our charities this year. The assessment piece as well is all the GB guys have to do a written exam. Okay. There's an audience vote. There's a congeniality round, so they get to vote amongst themselves who they would like to vote for. And then there's the runways. So we've got runways, the beachwear runway, the national dress runway, and the formal wear runway. It's all at the Annick Garden in front of the Duchess of Northumberland. Last year we had 3,000 people there. Wow. And I've taken it out of our queer spaces and into an open space where grandmas can come and support their queer kids, where granddads can come and support our queer youth. And it's a big event. So I've taken it from when I won it in a dusty nightclub where I had blood and glass all over my foot in swimwear to being a big open event. And that's how I've gone about rebranding it. And this year I'm running Mr. Gay World as well in the UK for the first time ever. It's coming to Great Britain. They said take it to London. I went, no, it's coming to the North East. So we're going to North East, we're staying in Annick, we're visiting South Shields, we're coming to Beamish, we're going to Durham, we're going to Gateshead Pride, the Quayside, and we're going to tip the bridge in the Quayside, flip it, turn it rainbow, do that.
That's cool.
South Shields Town Hall, they're doing a big civic reception for all the international delegates. I've got people coming from Poland, Nepal, Guam, USA, Thailand, Philippines, India, South Africa, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Great Britain.
How did you end up just taking this over? Because obviously, having... This is the first time we've met in person, but obviously I think we've been planning this for probably a year, probably. But and obviously I know you was quite out there, you go for what you want for that. Is that how you managed to take charge of all this? Did you just say this is what I want to make it, and people just sort of bowed down to that, or what?
Do you know the phrase? If you want a job doing right, do it yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you see something that's not quite working and you're sat on the sidelines itching and twiddling your thumbs, I can do that better, I can do that better, I can do that better. Listen to your voice, listen to your gut. There's a reason it's telling you to do that. Yeah. If you think you can do it good, go for it. Go for it. Don't live in regret. So I put myself forward. I can do that. I can get you a Duchess of Northumberland. I can get you several mayors. I can get you 3,000 people at your finale. And I can make this international event absolutely epic in the northeast of England. Watch this space. I can do it. I've got it. Done it.
Nice.
Ready to go.
I love that. I watched you win the footage online, and I saw the article afterwards.
It's so embarrassing.
You dropped to your knees, bro.
Knees. Oh my god! Right. So you know when you watch the movies and everything's in slow motion, that kind of happened. So I won in Rome, in Italy, and it was an open air auditorium, and fireworks were going off, streamers were going off because it said UK. I've taught children to dance. I've won British championships. I should be used to this, but there's a chemical. There was something in my brain went boop. My knees went doop, and I would have gone.
And you were quoted afterwards, apparently. Do you want to say the line? I feel like this should be like the most iconic line in British championship history for any competition ever. What did you say?
So I went, how do you feel? I went, can I have a cup of tea?
In the most British way possible.
Someone get us a cup of tea. I wasn't expecting it, you know. I went over, chilled and relaxed to represent my country from being first runner-up in Europe to then winning Mr. Gay World. It was epic. But I do believe I did it because I was in a space where I understood the assessments. I had a network of friends around me that I'd already met. I was chilled. I was relaxed. I was myself. Passed the assessments. Won the thing.
Yeah, because you've been were you always sort of like, because obviously I follow you on Instagram and TikTok.
I apologise. Instagram is half naked. My apologies,
that's
everybody.
what I was going to ask. So, have you always been like that accepting of your body and yourself and putting yourself out there? Like,
no. I think again, you only get one shot at this life, right? And I think you should take, to quote Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek, take as many naked pictures of yourself as possible, and when you are older, look back at them and go, God, I was gorgeous. So do it while you've got it. Take as many naked pictures of yourself as you can and be proud of it, and then put them on Instagram for people to see.
Yeah. What's with the wonky glasses as well? Is that just your like trademark thing?
Okay. That the wonky glasses. That's my. I feel quite proud of myself and my body. What I don't do well with is compliments. So people say, "Oh, like, you know, Stuart, oh, you're really this, or you're really that." And I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm just a geeky, dorky 90s kid from South Shields.
Yeah, James sent me a picture of what you used to like in school as well. He went back and found a photo. You posted in 2018, and it was like a snapshot between what you look like then and what you look like then. And I was like, yo, glow up and a half, man.
But inside my head, I'm still that kid.
Yes.
So in my head, I am still the closeted kid from the 90s that loved the Spice Girls, that lived under Margaret Thatcher, Section 28, that said he couldn't do things. But I've taken that, reversed it, and I'm using that now as my driving force, as my adult to go, watch me, I can.
Yeah, because I'm obviously I'm a straight guy, but even watching you, I'm like, damn, I want to put myself out there more, you know. So I feel like
you only get one shot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take as many naked pictures. Maybe I should. Maybe I should start, like we were talking about OnlyFans beforehand as well. Maybe
I'd buy them.
Yeah, I will send you the discount link. It's fine. You can have. What do you want? 10%?
I don't want discount. I want the full thing. Baby.
You know what? Mates rate should not be a thing. I think if you're friends with someone, you pay the full price. You support what they're doing. So,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are welcome. I support your porn industry.
Yeah, let's go for it. Actually, saying that, what is your sort of take on the whole OnlyFans movement at the minute?
Do you know what? I'm not bothered about that. I'm not going to discriminate against sex workers.
Yeah.
I think if you are living your best life, if you're healthy, you're paying your taxes, crack on.
Yeah, fair enough. So in terms of the media attention you got after winning Mr. Gay World, what was that like? How did your life change after that?
It was mental. It was absolutely mental. You're thrust into this world of the media, and you assume at the time it's going to be full on all the time because you've got so much attention after you. You know, I ended up on the front cover of magazines in... They're in a drawer. I need to put them on the wall.
It's all around the world.
I know,
ones, yeah.
South Africa, Canada, USA, Australia, New Zealand, which is it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. You're invited to places and events, and you need to take it and you need to run with it.
Yeah.
If you're given the opportunity, run with it. Don't say no. Say yes. As long as it doesn't affect your health or your well-being, say yes.
Yeah.
Go for it. It's not a full-time job. It's an absolutely addition to your life, and if it works, do it. And then the attention does slow down a little bit, but you can keep up that momentum as well. And you can keep going with what you need to talk about. So for me, it was my anti-bullying campaign. So what, to talk to kids and to make sure that they understood it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be bi, it's okay to be queer, it's okay to be a lesbian, it's okay to be non-binary, it's okay to be trans.
Yeah.
You're exactly who you want to be. Go for it. And that's kind of the phrase I've ran with. I do as well, though, think now, as I'm getting older, we do also need to look at our queer elderly, because these are the people that fought for the rights to be where we are now. And these people are in nursing homes or care homes with people who thought the same way they did against those people back in the day. So they are now, unfortunately, in areas which are secluded with people that don't think the same as them.
I can't
so
say I've thought about that,
I think we
actually,
need to think about our queer elderly a little bit more as well, because they fought for where we need to be now, and we need to fight to make sure that they've got safe spaces in their old age too.
Yeah. Is there any particular icons that you looked up to in the sort of the LGBTQ space?
Oh, yes. I think for me, a queer icon would be Freddie Mercury.
Yep.
Who was just unapologetically himself. And his music is transcendent. It makes my molecules shiver inside. And his music is music I don't use at work. So as a dancer, I've found over the years music that is good for my soul. If it becomes a work song, it becomes a work song.
Yeah,
and it loses a little bit of its impact. I never use Freddie at work. Like, Freddie's mine. And Pink is mine. Pink is such a queer ally. She speaks on behalf of anybody who is an underdog or anyone who identifies as an other. And we need people like that, because as queer people, we can talk to ourselves about the injustices that we face amongst ourselves in our safe spaces. Well, that's just an echo chamber. We know we need people to speak up on behalf of us that have got a privilege and are able to do so. So Pink is a great ally.
Yeah.
And which is why I think as a white cisgendered man, I'm in a privileged position now to speak up on behalf of my non-binary siblings and my non-binary trans siblings as well, to uplift them, because they need a little bit of uplifting right now.
Yeah. And I think one of the hardest things for most people, especially now we're moving into more like trans people are at the forefront of a lot of things going on at the minute.
But they shouldn't be.
Well,
they make up 0.001% of the population.
Yeah, I mean, that is a point, but I think most people have never had an experience with a trans person.
Yeah.
So I think they see what they see online and they don't fully understand. Whereas I think I don't want to say fortunate, but I had a friend I used to work with who I was at their wedding, and then they came to me one day, and I think we bumped into them in Morrison's actually, and I was like, "Oh, hello, how you doing? Like, you all right?" And they were like, "Oh, I'm actually going through, a divorce at the minute." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I was at the fucking wedding, And then I said, "Oh, well, do you want to meet up for a coffee and stuff? We can talk it out, two guys. Let's have a chat, And then he sat me down. We're in a little coffee shop, and he was like, told me what happened with his wife and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, like, if you need us, I'm here." And he's like, "Well, actually, if you don't mind, I've got something else to show you." And he pulled out his Instagram, and of him dressed, in lipstick, makeup and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Right. I mean, he always had long hair and stuff, but I was like, oh. And I never saw it coming. And I had to think in that moment, I was like, this is something totally, I don't know how to handle this.
But also she, I should say, sorry, has welcomed you into her new life. Yeah. I think that's really, really special. And it was, that she feels she can trust you.
Yeah. And then we met up again, and, she became herself then through that. And it was a strange experience. I'm not going to lie. It's not something that when you see someone completely... change almost, it's quite a hard experience to sort of wrap your head around at first.
I think as well, we have to absolutely nurture our trans community because they're going through a lot, but on the side that you're speaking of, I've got a lot of parents of trans kids come to talk to me as well, just to have a breath or a moment. But you've got to also understand as well, and maybe a bit like yourself, is you're also grieving. because you're grieving the loss of the relationship with the friend who you have dealt with. And the same as a parent might also be grieving the loss of a child. They haven't lost a child, but you've lost that experience that you once had with your child.
It's a very surreal scenario.
But they're still there.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is letting you in to their life. And we need to nurture that. We really, 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 really do.
And I think having that experience helped me sort of understand a bit more and helps me like look at it with a different perspective. But I think most people have never and probably will never go through an experience like that, you know?
No.
I mean, I can't imagine what it's like being a parent or anything. It was strange enough being a friend, but a parent or even a partner who transitions, you know, it must be a very surreal scenario. But
and it's, as well, when you were going back to talk about trans rights as well, again, this should not be debated because that's someone's human right to live authentically. The same as you, the same as I'm trying to. We all just want to get on, and no one really cares what other people are doing. And the only kind of debate that seems to be going on is with trans women. No one has a problem with trans men. No one has a problem with trans men. We all believe that these trans women are going to go into our ladies' bathrooms and have some form of physical altercation. But no one's got a problem with trans men, which is baffling. So it's
why do you think that is?
I genuinely don't know. It could be due to fears of, I'm just going to be quite blunt here, people thinking, oh, there's a bloke coming into a woman's bathroom. That's not a bloke. That's a trans woman. That's a woman in a woman's space. In my dance studios, I've got toilets which are completely genderless. You go in, I'm not cared who you are, just...
Yeah, there's a toilet, there's a sink.
Go wash your hands.
Yeah, as long as you wash your hands, you're good.
Go wash your hands. If you go to your friend's house, you don't go, excuse me, where's the boys' bathroom? Where's the girls' bathroom? Can I use your loo? And you go to the toilet. If you go to the toilet on a train, there's one toilet on a train and a carriage. You go to the toilet on a plane, there's one toilet on a plane. But all of a sudden, we're debating who goes somewhere to have a poo.
Who do you think it is debating it? Do you think it's other men debating this? Or do you think it's women that have a problem with it?
No, it's politicians. It's a small minority of politicians who are using this to rile up division amongst people, to use it as, we will fight for your rights. We're not going to let these horrible, evil trans people take away your human rights. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. But the moment it goes into the media, trans people have become political fodder. Same as the boats.
Yeah.
When did we care about boats? We care about our cost of living crisis. We care about where our next meal is going to come from. We care whether we can pay for the heating bills. We don't care about boats.
Yeah.
In fact, our country is made up of immigrants.
Yeah.
Originally, you go back to your Anglos and Saxons, we're all made up of immigrants. And that's what's so wonderful about our country. And we're turning away people who are fleeing their countries, who could be doctors and nurses who want to contribute to our society. You know, they want a purpose in life, so they want to be able to give back. We need to look at things a little bit differently, I think, and with a little bit more empathy.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. I like that. So from a gay man's perspective, just as a fun little question, is there anything that straight dudes do that pisses you off? Or an attitude that they have where you're just like, for fuck's sake, man?
Yeah, like, you know, if you're in the gym, right, and they go, "Yeah, right, Davey. Right, Davey. All right, Stevie. Right, Stevie. Davey. Right, Marty. I was banging my lass last night. Like, oh yeah, she was gagging for it. And you're like, I don't care. Can you be quiet? If I walked in and went, "Oh, I was banging my lad last night," like, pardon? Like, so maybe that.
Sort of shit lad locker room banter that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
I get it in the gym all the time. I like to train by myself most times, and I've got my headphones in. But even then, there's just some loudmouth fucking big gut, strong powerlifter dude who's Davey. It's always Davey. It's always Gary. It's always like some old school man's. Yeah. I get that, man. I get that. So talk to me about Pride Radio. So how did you first get onto that?
Well, Pride Radio interviewed me when I'd won Mr. Gay World. And I was at the point of going, oh, I like what you're doing. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be the one being interviewed. I like what you're doing. What's that button over there? What's this? What's that? What's your questions? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I built up a relationship with them over my tenure as a winner, because they were always at events. Had a chat, went and did some training with the amazing Lee Finan, who was on Metro for many years. He trained me, and then before I knew it, I was on the Drive Time show, doing the live Drive Time show Monday to Friday. And as of recently, that takes up a lot of hours to do a live radio show.
Oh, yeah.
So now I do a cheeky old pre-record by the magic of radio, and it goes out every Sunday from 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock on 89.2 FM Pride Radio, and it's Stu's Divas, playing a plethora of pink pop and all your lady legends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that intro. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what sort of stuff do you do?
I might have said that once or twice.
Maybe over the last 10 years. Yeah. So how does it work with these live things? Do you get nervous before you do the live stuff, or no?
It's just me. It's just me and my listeners. So if I'm talking, I'll talk to you. How you doing? Are you having a good day? What you doing? Are you cooking your Sunday dinner? You digesting your Sunday dinner? What's going on? Tell me about it. Get in touch with me. Drop me a tweet. Drop me a message. Drop me something on Instagram at My Pride Radio. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah,
and I like to have a conversation with people.
You know, you've got the face for TV and the voice for radio, man. That's how it works. It's a terrible combination.
Thank
I'm
you.
so jealous of you.
Do you know when you said that? And I know what I talk about Mr. Gay World is. Mr. Gay Denmark, 10 years ago, he was trying to throw shade. He was trying to insult me, but he gave me the best compliment ever. He went, "Stuart, you dress like a Backstreet Boy, but you walk like a Spice Girl." I went, "Oh, thank you."
You should put that in your bio on Instagram.
I'm on my gravestone. Walk like a Backstreet Boy. No, dress like a Backstreet Boy. Walk like a Spice Girl.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's great, man. So, do people recognize you? Do you ever get recognized?
I do in the spaces that like our queer spaces.
So, if you got a Pride festival, people would be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it's selfie time. That's cool. That's all right. I don't mind that, but it's good. It's cool to be recognised for accomplishments.
Yeah,
which is all right.
So, what's the best part about being on the radio for you? What do you love about it?
As you know, my life is busy. Mm-hmm. My life is very, very busy. If I'm not
mate, I've been trying to get you on here for a year.
For a year, busy you are. Or modelling, or being a farmer. Being on the radio it's my time.
Yeah.
So it's my time. It's my chill time. I'm in my soundproof room. I get to talk to my listeners, and it is a moment of chill, and it's nice, and it's calm, and it's relaxing, and I get to play Barbra Streisand and Liza Minnelli and Ariana Grande, and some awesome tunes, and I enjoy that time. I enjoy that time.
What kind of call-ins do you get?
Oh, well, usually they are. Well, for example, we are on Pride Radio, so we're digital. So you can download the free Pride. You can download the free Pride Radio app from your.
This is just one advertisement here for Pride Radio. That's what this is.
And one of the best conversations I've had was coming from a listener in a country where it was illegal to be gay. So with Pride Radio, in some countries, we are the only point of contact that someone who's queer is going to get.
Wow.
With someone else. If it's illegal to be gay, if it's the death penalty to be gay, we do encourage our listeners to be careful. But I am the only person that some of these people listen to, or who can feel that they can be let into someone's life with. So when I'm talking about being out in our gay spaces, talking about my gay friends, these guys realise, there's a bit of hope out there. And I'm listening to someone's life who's living an authentic queer life. And that's what we encourage on Pride Radio as well, is not necessarily have it out in your faces, as some people might say, but was to just talk openly and honestly about your everyday life as a gay person, which makes it different from your mainstream radio as well. But again, those listeners in countries where it is illegal to be gay, that is their only point of contact. I am their only person that they are going to have a conversation to, or talk back to, or interact with who's gay.
What kind of questions do they ask you? What kind of things do they ask?
Oh, I've had weird questions, from basic things like, what's your favourite colour, to what song are you wearing, or can you play the third track from Barbra Streisand's fourth album from 1968, please? Like, yeah, sure.
That's specific, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good gig. It's a good gig.
Yeah, nice one. So you're no stranger to having microphones in your face. You're no stranger to having cameras on you. And one of the things that I went through and spent my Wednesday night watching was Come Dine With Me.
Oh my god! Did you watch the entire thing?
No, I skipped to. I watched your episode because you're up first, which is always fun.
Yeah,
which is always fun. I just want to make sure I got you down.
I apologise. I was drunk the entire time.
It didn't click that you were drunk though.
I was absolutely suzzled. And when you meant to hold the cards up, in the taxi on the way home, it was like sliding down. Because I went first. So when you film it, you start at 9 o'clock in the morning gathering your food, and you're filming all the way through to like 1 o'clock the next morning. And when you serve your food, it's cold because you've got to pull it away for the shot, put it down for the shot.
Yeah.
When you're eating, you've got to eat in silence.
Oh, really?
Nod to each other. It's a process. It takes a lengthy time, and there's lights on as well. oppositely, I did ice cream. So by the time I put my ice cream down, it had melted.
Well, I thought that, but I thought you said, because you said ice and sugar in the episode, you were like, I'll put ice and sugar on, no one knows it's burnt. So I was like, oh, that must just be like some slightly runny ice and sugar. I didn't realize it was ice cream.
Burnt me brownie.
You're like, oh no, it's burnt. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine that feeling when the cameras are on you as well. And you're like,
and there's a camera, and it's gone on telly, and I've burnt me brownie.
how many people are behind that sort of camera?
Not too. There's three. There's
Three
just three.
people.
There's three. It was a good experience, but yes, I had all this on day one, and you're not allowed to talk to each other off camera. So every reaction is on camera. So when it stops, there's someone there going, don't talk, and they take you to a holding room, and you're not allowed to talk. The second day, because I'd had my night, I was allowed to talk because everyone knew everything about me.
Right. Yeah.
And then the next day, whoever's on the second night, they can talk off camera. So you've got to reveal yourself on camera as you go.
Right.
But because I had my night the first night, I was done and dusted. So the second night, they went, oh, Stuart, have a drink. Oh, thank you. And a drink, and a drink, and a drink. So by the time I got the end of the week, I was suzzled. Absolutely suzzled. And you watch it back and you're like, oh my God. So
Did you watch it when it went live as well? Did you watch it back?
I did. Actually, to be fair, we all stay in contact. I think the Come Dine With Me people thought, right, we've got a gay, a footballer, a nurse, a hippie, and a cougar. They are not going to get on. But us Geordies, we get on great with everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when it was filmed, we all did the night again. So on night one, everyone came back to mine. And we watched night one in my house. When we did night two, we went to the second person. And
That's cool.
Yeah. So we did that. And we all got on really, really well. We still stay in contact. We've got a little WhatsApp group.
I saw you were tagged in something. I think it was like a year or something afterwards. Like someone tagged you saying like, miss all my coming out with me besties. I was like, oh, we'll stay in contact. At least it didn't go down like that. What was it, the
get out me house?
Yeah, or the lessons in grace and decorum, Jane.
Yeah, I
that
know.
one.
I know.
That's class.
Yeah.
But what I loved was I was really, because obviously I was watching this. I didn't know what was coming up, and I'm watching it, and I'm like looking at your menu and stuff, and I'm going, oh, Stu, that sounds really like not too difficult, man. Like I was expecting something really out there, and everyone was saying the same when they're opening it. And then when they're eating it, they're going, this is fucking lush. And I was just like, that's how you do it, man.
I still think I should have won mine. I thought my
well, when you got your first score, you got was 30. I think you got 30. So I was like,
tactical voting. They were all tactical voting. I want you.
That's how it is. I'm just like, no one's going to give the high scores because they all want to win. So it's kind of like a backhanded bitchy thing. It's like, what's good but not too good.
Exactly. I thought I should have won. I thought it was really good. I wouldn't make that meal now because I'm vegan now.
Okay.
So I've completely changed since fostering all my animals. But then I thought it was really good. I had my chicken and it was wrapped in ham. It had sun-dried tomatoes in it. It had pestos in it. It was really, really nice. I had sweet potato. I'd had my broccoli. Then I did like my protein brownies. I had mussels to start.
I love mussels,
I thought it was really nice. I thought I did really, really good.
You converted, I can't remember her name, but you converted her to liking mussels as well.
Yeah.
She's like saying, she's like, I don't like mussels. And I'm like, oh no, Stu, it's going to come to like a head at the table. But she actually loved it, didn't she? She was like, it's really good.
Well. Really tough. And then I don't know if you watched all the way through to the Thursday, but that lady just absolutely failed at life. Bless her, Jude.
I didn't see the whole thing, I'll be honest.
She was the vegetarian of the week, and everything was burnt cheese, and burnt cheese.
Oh,
it was hilarious. At one point, we had this fermented banana cake as well that she forgot to put the baking powder in. So it was just ooze. We're just having to eat ooze. So I think I gave her a 2.
Did you?
I gave her a 2, and I think I was the highest mark.
Oof.
I know I was being really
I have never seen many people
you
give
need to
2s.
go back through.
I'm gonna have to go watch it. Yeah, I was just like, I want to watch your episode, and I want to know more about your stuff. What's it like when they sort of, obviously you come in, you get you couldn't get the champagne open, I remember.
I hate things that pop. I hate opening bottles. Ugh. I hate fireworks. And do you remember as a kid, there was some form of torture where everyone would make you do the hokey-cokey and they put balloons in the middle and you had to like bang them.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying. That not
I used to have to do it when I was a waiter. I used to have to pop them at the table. And it was always like, you'd always like, there'd be always someone walking past and they'd just take a white bird around you because they're like, don't hit me with that cork.
No. Yeah, I'm not into popping bottles, not into fireworks, not into balloons.
But the idea is you don't pull the cork, you twist the bottle. Pull the cork, twist the bottle. I'm pretty sure.
Where were you when I needed you on Come Dine With Me?
Mate, you just didn't ask me, man. I'm a little bit insulted, but I'll get over it.
Next time when they do a Come Dine With Me All-Stars.
Yep, absolutely. We'll do a couples one. We'll pretend we're
I mean, I'm game.
Why not? But yeah, I think watching it back, like I was really glad that you didn't bring protein brownies today. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping you were gonna bring some Smarties brownies.
I didn't even feed myself to come here, man. I fed all my animals, but I didn't feed
Yeah,
myself. I know.
man.
I know. I should have brought my protein brownies for you.
The sugar
Note
babes have
self
got their
must
food,
do
but
better.
was there any sort of bitchiness with everyone?
No, a genuine. People ask me this. In my Come Dine With Me week, we all got on brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
We all got on great, and I think that's why if you watch it all the way at the end, it's just full of laughs and it's full of giggles.
Yeah.
But Geordie people are a different breed of people.
Oh yeah,
Geordies, anyone from the northeast gets on great with anybody. We do. I mean, you could be a mass murderer and we go, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. What was your last kill like, mate?
Was it good? Did you clean the knife? Good.
Did you have any witnesses? No? Okay, good.
We got on great with everyone, but that's people in the northeast. We do
Yeah.
that. So, no, there was absolutely no bitchiness. We did really, really well.
Was it difficult to make was it she vegetarian or vegan? I can't remember which one she was, because you made
She was
pepper.
veggie. Yeah, she was veggie. So you had to make 2 meals for her. So you did your own, and then you had to do the veggie one. So yeah.
I can't believe it's cold. That's what blew my mind of like...
It's cold. It's cold.
That sucks,
yeah,
man.
it's cold.
So in terms of the ingredients, because I always say £1,000, it should be more, because the money you spend on the ingredients and everything else, I'm like, you basically get nothing back. So like, do they compensate you in any way?
Yeah, they give you £100 to spend.
Okay, that's good.
So
then.
they do give you £100 to spend, and I got my mussels from Latimer's Seafood in Whitburn.
Okay.
So they were all fresh and ready to go, caught that day. But they do give you £100. If you go over, that's of your own
That's on
money,
you,
though.
right?
Yeah. But that £100 is to cover if you've got any entertainment as well. So I had a drag queen.
Yes,
rock
you
up
did.
for mine. Ophelia Balls, the legend that is Ophelia Balls, and she made everyone sing "Old MacDonald Had a Farm" because that's what you do at the dinner table, right? And then some other people had like a mini horse throughout the week. So someone had a mini horse with champagne on. Someone brought a paddling pool, filled it up, and put ducks in the middle. It's different. It's different things that money spent on, but mine just went on me food.
Well, I noticed they didn't go through the drawers and stuff in your room and do all that stuff.
I was petrified. That was one of the first questions I asked. I went, "Excuse me, did you go through me knicker drawer? Because I'll have to wash them." But no, I think that everything's staged, so they won't let you do anything you don't want to do. So everything does have to be approved. So if someone is going through someone's knicker drawer, it's because that person's like, show off me nicks.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Show off
how would that
those
get in there? That's big.
Come on, product placement.
That trophy that they picked up, is
Yes.
that always there, or did you put that there so they would find it straight away?
No. No, they put that trophy there, the Mr. Gay World Trophy, they put there, which is actually now in South Shields Museum.
Oh, it's in the museum now, is it?
It's in the museum. So the South Shields Museum contacted me and asked whether they could have my Mr. Gay World Trophy.
I'm surprised you said yes, man. I'd be like, no.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I had a full-on debate about
I
it.
I eat my Cocoa Pops out of that thing. No.
I did. I was having a full-on debate, and I thought, oh, it's just gathering dust. And do you know what? South Shields Museum has got such a place in my heart because my granddad took me there as a kid. There used to be like a little sweet shop where you could get the old like Black Bullet sweets and things in there. So my granddad used to take me there. So I thought, this is cool. This is like a full circle moment. So I donated it to South Shields Museum. And if you go into South Shields Museum, I'm the first exhibition you see. So there's a bit about me. I'm not even stuffed or dead. And I love that in the museum. It's really cool. But I'm next to like a giant lion, an Emmy, and a bit of Pompeii.
Oh, nice.
I know.
That's
Kind of
random,
cool,
but it's cool, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go in and like stand next to your like exhibition? Like,
I've never been in until this week. I had to go in this week because South Shields Museum are going to host an event for Mr. Gay World. And of course, I had to get a selfie next to my trophy. I'm like, hey, look at that thing. It's that man.
I love it, man. So with everything you've done, the dancing, the modeling, the radio, TV, all that sort of stuff, and all the stuff we probably haven't covered, what's your advice to someone who really wants that adventurous, out there, life that feels lived? What do you tell those people?
If someone... Have you seen the movie Yes Man?
Yes.
With Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Eloise did that. I say yes. Say yes. Don't say no. No doesn't bring you any new opportunities. No doesn't get you through any new doors. Say yes. If it's not for you, you've done it. You've tried it. You've come away with a learned experience. Mm-hmm. But say yes.
I like that, because I think for me, I say introverted, right? I can be extroverted when I need to be.
You're not introverted with those biceps. Grr, arg.
Stop it, Stu. We're on camera. But
If someone person.
You know what? I interviewed a guy actually called Mr. One of his nicknames is Mr. Biceps. So I was like, I felt really small compared to him, man. I was like, damn, look at it. He walked through the door. I was like, fuck.
Like his bicep is the same as my leg.
It's like my head, man. It was like my whole torso. It was crazy. But for me, I was always like, I just accepted that I was never going to be the most out there person. And I thought everyone else was, but me. It was a weird... It doesn't make sense, really, right? Because you think everything else comes to everybody else, but you. I'm not meant for this, right? But the problem is, if you believe that, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Absolutely.
And people think it's arrogant to want more, to think you... This is the thing. People think you're better than other people. That's not the case. Because, as we said at the beginning, you've got to be better than you were.
Yeah.
But for most people, they're like, I can't be selfish, I can't be arrogant. Like, there's a lot of people pleasers that have the disease to please. Yeah. It's all about everybody else.
Arrogance arrogance is feeling that you are better than someone else. Confidence is knowing that you're better than who you were.
Yeah.
I think. And you can be confident and loud about it, or you can be confident and quiet about it. That's how you deal with that with your personality. But everyone should give something new a go.
Yeah.
If you want to be a parachuter, do it. Thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Make your thought a thing. If it lives in your head, it's just living in your head. The moment you actively pursue that thought and you turn it into a physical reality, that becomes your existence.
Yeah. Well, my original channel for this was called Thoughts in Motion because it was like putting thoughts into action.
Yeah.
Very cheesy, I know.
It's
but
true,
it worked
though.
at the time.
It's true.
And it's funny, arrogance is they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't. And there's a thin line between the two, because I think I've met arrogant people and I've met confident people. Confident people ask about you. Arrogant people talk about themselves. And that's how you spot the difference.
Yeah.
Because confident people want to bring you into the fold.
Yeah.
They don't want to push you away or bring you down and say, this is where you belong down there. They want to say, come with me, man. Come up. And that's how, that's what, so I've interviewed you and I've interviewed James. You both that way, you're both confident and you both are very humble, but like, so like, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do.
You've got to bring people along the journey with you. If you're having a bloody good time, share it with other people.
Yeah.
You know, like, come and join this. So even just going back to the Mr. Gay World experience, I know I've said that I'm doing this and doing this and doing this. I am just the spearhead of that. Right now, there's a massive team of volunteers behind me.
Yeah.
We've got Barbara, we've got Barry, we've got Danielle, there's Nathan, there's Josephina, there's Paul, there's Lavender. But these people are in this experience together to uplift other people as well. So you need to definitely, if you are going to go and do something and it's pretty cool, grab someone else's hand and say, come and join me.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do? Is there anything that you haven't done that you still want to do?
Oh, I'd love to learn how to sing.
Same.
I know.
I think I'd be a good front man.
Oh, the best I can do is the Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. That's
it's the Geordie accent though. I don't think it sounds good. Like I actually went to see Girls Aloud not long ago. Yeah, I did. And I was like, Cheryl Cole, man. I was like, the accent, I can hear it.
Yeah,
it's a little cringe. I don't like hearing it on TV.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Ready.
It's just, it doesn't sit right with me, man. It's like, I had Vera on the other day. It was just on. I was like, I don't like it, man. Even though it's a fake accent, I was like, I don't like it.
Vera stopped me from getting home one day. So I live in Wylam, and there's a place in Wylam called Hagbank, and it's got a bridge, and they were filming a murder right behind me house. And the production crew went, sorry, it was 10 o'clock at night. Sorry, sir, you can't bring your car. I went, I live there. Oh, no, we're filming Vera. I went, I don't care who's there. I'm going home. Oh, no, on the intercom, someone's coming through. So, what do you mean someone's coming through? That's
should have asked for
house.
A part. Do you know who I am? I'm Mr. K. World, motherfucker. Let me through.
Vera, I'm going home. Shift.
Take your fucking hat, your scarf, your coat. Looks like the fucking fourth Doctor. Looks like Tom Baker. That's what she dresses like.
Maybe she will be the Doctor in the future.
You never know. You never know. But so just to wrap up, I've got a couple of questions, a couple of fun questions, and one serious. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
So first up, this comes from some insider information from a source that shan't be named. James.
James.
Which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is your favorite?
Raphael.
Why?
Raphael just couldn't give a flying.
Which one's Raphael, I guess?
Raphael's the one with the red.
Yeah.
Red. He's angry, but he's also really soft and cool. He's kind of basically a Gemini, which is what I am. So it'll be Raphael instantly. Michelangelo was a party dude, according to the song. Leonardo was the leader. Donatello was the info guy, and computer scare me. So via the by denomination would be Raphael, but also I think he is my spirit animal.
I think mine was the orange one. Which the orange one?
Michelangelo.
I think he was my favorite. I think
with these ice cream pizzas.
Yeah. I do you know what? I actually loved Shredder. I'm not gonna lie. Always go for the bad guys, man. Shredder was the boy. They get the best outfits, the best music.
I know. Are you sure Shredder wasn't just a drag queen in disguise?
Possibly. We don't know. We don't know. But I think I remember being really. This is just a really spiteful when I was a kid, right? But I was definitely some sort of like disturbed child, because I remember I asked my mum for a Shredder figurine when I was a kid. And I really wanted it because it had a removable helmet. This is the nerdiest thing ever. And she got me the one without the removable helmet, and I was fucking raging.
Does she not even know who you think that you were?
But I was like, no, because you can do this, and then I can have like a scene in my head where the helmet comes out. It was just ridiculous.
And I can comb his hair and give him a haircut and give him a perm.
I think I had a turtle where his head went back into a shell, and like another head came out and stuff.
Yes, it did. It used to flip.
Yeah,
I had that one as well.
I don't know what the other head was, but yeah I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably still have them in the loft somewhere as well. But do you think there's room for a Ninja Turtles and Star Trek crossover?
I'm sure there's a comic,
Really?
I'm sure there's a Star Trek and Ninja Turtles comic book. I'm sure there is, because Star Trek's crossed over with Doctor Who before, and Star Trek's crossed over with the X-Men before. I'm sure there's a Star Trek and Ninja Turtles crossover. But I can see Captain Picard and Michelangelo rocking out on the Enterprise bridge.
Do you go Picard rather than Kirk?
Oh, Picard and Janeway. Janeway, I'm a bit of a Janeway fan as well. But if you're going alphas, Picard.
Yeah.
Cisco was cool as well. Oh, can I just have them all? Like a Woolworths pick and mix.
Just a whole Woolworths pick and mix.
Aye, yeah.
Throwback.
There we go.
Bro.
There's the podcast. There's the podcast talk.
Bring back fucking Woolworths, man.
Yeah.
Woolworths was the boy. James mentioned that you've been known to play dress up from time to time.
What type of
so
dress up?
he said you've been an admiral from Star Trek. You've been Darth Maul. You've been Ginger Spice.
I have been. Yes.
So he wants to know, if you were to create an alter ego drag persona, where would your inspiration come from? What would your outfit be, and what would your name be?
I would be an absolute slut. I would wear thigh-high PVC leather boots. I'd have long, bright red hair down to here. I'd wear like a one-piece, almost kind of like Mila Jovovich from The Fifth Element. And I think my name would be Margaret.
Why Margaret?
Because it's just sorry for any Margarets. It's just a really shit name. That'd be brilliant for a drag queen name.
What about like face paint or anything? Would you go through? How elaborate would you go with the makeup and stuff?
Oh, I'd want me face painted to the gods. I'd like beat me, poof, poof, poof. I'd probably get a professional to do it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried me face, like to do my face in drag once, and I thought it was going to be beautiful. I thought I'm going to look like a younger version of my mother. I'm going to be gorgeous. I look like a Reet Munter. I just look like a bloke in a frock. So if I'm going to get it done, I'm going to get it done professional, honey. Yeah.
It's funny when I think about drag, because I always think of Little Britain. Do you remember the I'm a lady, I do ladies thing.
I'm a lady.
You'd never get away with that now, would you? You wouldn't get away with
Do you know
that.
what? Comedy is comedy, and it is a reflection of the time. Right or wrong, it's not a reflection of now.
They
but
put
it was
that
a
on the
reflection
beginning,
of then.
They put that on the beginning.
I know. Some of the things I think is hilarious, though. I shouldn't laugh, but I do. Yeah. I do.
But I think most people will laugh. There's just that subset of people that are like, oh, cancel this. It's this. Yeah.
You laugh and then you go to hell.
Yeah.
But you go to heaven for the atmosphere, but hell for the company.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I might just take a trip between both. I've laughed at some horrendous stuff, man. I've told some dark fucking jokes in my time, man. I'm going to tell them on a podcast because someone will clip it in like a few years when I've hit
Cancelled.
big time. Yeah. We've seen, are you a Tenacious D fan?
I like listen, I maybe only know the one Tenacious D song.
Is a tribute by any chance?
It is tribute, yes. This
right.
is a tribute.
Yeah, they've just cancelled themselves now. I'm like, if someone comes to cancel me for anything, I don't think I will ever. I don't think I'm ever gonna be big enough. I'm just gonna be like, I said that. It's cool. Watch the whole 2. That's why podcasts are better, because you can give context to everything.
Absolutely.
It's not just 30 seconds out of context.
Yeah.
That the whole thing is like context for it. So
listen to him for a full 2 hours and then cancel him.
Yeah. Well, we're on about 1 hour 15 minutes at the minute. So
wow.
Yeah, man. So my final question for you. So you can take as long as you want to consider this. So this is something that I ask. Well, I've started to ask the last few guests because I think it's a very important question. Because this podcast is for people who want to learn from the guests that they listen to. They want to see what inspiration they can take, what bits of tidbit advice, but also how they see themselves. So I want to know: do you consider yourself a success?
No, I don't consider myself a success because I don't think I've gotten where I need to be just yet. And I think that that's a good, that is a good position to be in. I've been in positions before. Let's take a video game where I've gotten to the end of the video game and I've ended it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back and you play the different levels, but you lose your drive. You lose your spark. You lose your motivation to go.
Yeah.
You've got to have that level that you've always got to keep going for to give yourself a drive. Back at the gym, I'm not in my peak condition, but I work out. If I'm doing any fitness covers or any fitness things, it takes me a good 6 months to get to the position I need to be. But it makes me strive to go to the gym because I've got to want, I've got a need, I've got to get there.
Yeah.
I've got to be in a position in which I need to be. I prep to be where I need to be. It gives me a force to go. I don't think I'm successful or where I need to be just yet. And I'm okay with that because I need a drive to keep me going all the time in my different endeavors.
So how would you ever consider yourself a success, do you think? Do you think you're just going to keep going?
I'm retiring when I'm 40.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm retiring when I'm 40 and I'm going to become a nun.
A nun.
A scary nun. That one from the...
Not a drag nun, right?
Margaret
the drag nun.
That's what I'm going to do when I'm 40. That's why I'm not a success, is because Margaret hasn't been realised yet. Margaret will be birthed. She's going to be birthed into this world, and then
magical conception. That's what it
is.
is.
Yes, this is true. No, I think with success, success is you've got to the end of the game, you've ticked it, doop, and that's quite sad, actually. That's quite sad. You've got to give yourself a bit of wiggle room to keep going.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. And I just want to say thank you very much for your time with Stuart Hatton Jr.
Thank you for getting your guns out.
It's fucking warm in here, guys. If anyone watching this, I do apologize if I'm
getting
sweating.
hot in here.
It's so hot.
All your clothes.
Do you know what? I wish in the people who don't know this is insider information for the podcast. When it comes to winter in here, it is obviously you own the dance studio next door. You have the dance studio next door, so it's basically the same sort of heat rises. But in the winter, it's like an igloo. It's absolutely so cold. We actually have to have a gas heater for the guests. So if there's any episodes that come out in winter, just know I'm freezing. They're nice and warm because they have the gas heater over there, and I'm over in the corner. Like,
is that nice?
Well, I did an episode with a guy called Harvey, who's brilliant, and I'm in like this fur sort of jacket thing. Because I'm freezing and he's over there in like a t-shirt and it looks really odd. It looks really bizarre. But
at the moment that you can get yourself a gas heater as well, that's when you are a success. 2 gas heaters,
yeah. Do you know what? Luke, get on it because it's Luke's gas heater. I use this stuff. He doesn't know, but shh. No, Luke doesn't. Luke, don't know this. You don't know this. But listen, guys, where can people find Stuart Hatton Jr.? Where can people follow your journey?
Sure. If you want to follow my journey, you can check me out on all the socials. I'm on the socials, Stuart Hatton Jr. across Facebook, Instagram, and now rebranded X.
I don't like the fact that it's called X. I prefer Twitter.
It's a full-on porno logo as well, isn't it?
I've heard that, yeah. I'm not actually on X, no. I've joined Threads, but I don't give a fuck about Threads.
Oh, I think I'm on Threads. I'm also on Threads too, I think.
I just cross-post between Facebook and Threads because there's an option to do that, and you never know, it might take off one day.
That's true. Yeah. Cool. But my Facebook content is different than my Instagram content.
What's the Facebook content?
Well, my Facebook content is like, it's very like, you're aware that there might be mums watching or older people watching.
You kept it safe for work,
yes,
right?
But Instagram, there's probably a top off. There is a top off.
Well,
there's underpants on there.
I go on. I upload sometimes to TikTok, and I'll scroll through the friends part, and it's just Stuart's tits.
Stuart's tits. Oh yeah, I'm on the TikTok as well with my tits. Boop, boop. Like, this is tick and this is talk.
It's just plant porn, man. Like you said, it's just loads of plants that I'm like, Stuart's tits, wonky glasses, tits, underpants,
marvelous,
nails.
Yes,
it's great.
Yes.
I love it.
It's full of all the content.
I love it. Well, listen,
Come
man,
join me.
It's been a pleasure to have you on. I love how enthusiastic you are about life and everything, and I think you are a very inspirational dude. So
thank
you very much for your time, man. I appreciate it. But guys, be sure to follow Stuart on all the socials, see everything that he's doing, and if you're in South Shields, go visit the South Shields. Was it Hall of Fame?
South Shields Museum. I mean, I'll take South Shields Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame sounds just as good. good. But listen, guys, be sure to leave us the 5-star reviews because it really does push us to the front of people's Spotify pages, which is always nice to be seen more, and more people can discover the amazing guests I've had on. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and I will see you all in the next episode.